Welcome to an educating episode of the program AGRIC today on ARCN Television, Mabushi, Abuja, Nigeria. I am your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin Amin. This week's episode of AGRIC today is going to be an interesting one, and of course I want to applaud a nation for, as we'll have the International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, come up. Yes, they've been in Nigeria before now. They come up with a move in partnership in having a committee with the ARCN in the area of ensuring food sustainability. Hence, this brings us to our topic for the week, which is the role of ICRISAT in food sustainability drive of the federal government. I have the country representative, ICRISAT, Kano, Nigeria, in the person of Mr. Angarawa Ignatius. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, this is the second time I'm interfacing with you. I remember vividly sometime last year where you were at the ARCN in a meeting with the Executive Secretary. And I want to believe that that meeting is what is giving birth to this second meeting. First, before we move on, tell us the truth about ICRISAT.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Angarawa Ignatius, the country representative for ICRISAT in Nigeria, based in Kano. ICRISAT is an acronym for International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, which is headquartered based in India, but we have a hub across two regions in Africa. The one of West and Central Africa and based in Bamako with 5 countries, 5 stations across 5 countries in West Africa. We have Mali being the hub for West Africa. We have Niger, located in Sodore. We have Senegal. We have Ghana. We have Nigeria, which is also based in Kano. In East Africa, we have Kenya in Nairobi as the hub base for East and South Africa. Alongside, we also have Malawi, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Ethiopia, and other countries. So our mandate is looking into the dryland agriculture and see its sustainability and making impact, especially among smallholder farmers that are resource limited, also facing the challenge of climate change and the global warming that has to do with a lot of crops resident for the consumers and of those population.
Okay, we've heard it. The work of ICRISAT is basically research, which is like what we have here at the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria. The difference, if you ask me, is the fact that one is governmental, while the other one is non-profitable, as yours is. Of what significance is this the body to Nigeria?
Yes, it's of great significance in the sense that ICRISAT, as international body, under the consultative International Agri-Research Consult, works across 6 dryland crops. We have sorghum, millet, groundnut, chickpea, pigeon pea, and finger millet. Globally, these are called nutritious crops, and they are grown on the average in large quantity in the semi-arid tropics, where Nigeria falls in as one of those countries that are in those semi-arid tropics. And the population that feeds across the globe is over 2 billion. It contributes a lot to Nigeria because basically, if you look at the cereals that has to do with sorghum, millet, they are basically, especially in the north, where the rainfall is very limited, which averagely is between 300 to 1,000 millimeter. And these are the only crops that are being grown, especially in those areas. Neglecting that amount, that area of crop or out of research is leaving over 100 million hungry, because Nigeria is about 220 million, and so if you leave 100 million hungry, you know that it is a disaster. So ICRISAT intervenes in delivering innovations and technologies, especially on improved crops that are of short duration, to at least accommodate the short rainfall that are associated with the dry land. In those days, we have what we call crops that can stay for 4 months on the field. But with the climate change and global warming, our weather has changed in terms of duration of rainfall that now lasts maybe 3 months or at most 3.5. And we needed crops that can survive within those growth periods of the rain. And so sorghum, which used to take 5 months, will leave our people hungry, except we develop new varieties that can mature within 3 months. Groundnut also, we used to have those that stay for almost 3 or 6 months. But now we have those that can mature within 70 days, which can give groundnuts to people within that short period. Millet is to have material that can last before you harvest is in September. But now we have millet that you can harvest in August, bridging the period of hunger from the previous to the next harvest. More so, in the dry land, we have associated challenges of ill health as a result of change of diet. And this is as a result of depending more on maybe foreign materials that does not meet our nutritional requirements. So sorghum and millet, who has the potential as powerhouse for nutrients, are now available as new products to farmers that they can regain their nutrition, which as a result, because of social lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, all sorts of things are now reduced as a result of eating millet that have been neglected before because of its nutritional value. Luckily enough, Nigeria was one of the countries that hosted the International Year of Millet 2023, which was even held here in Abuja, just to showcase how millet has really been a source of livelihood, especially to the rural populace that doesn't have access to supplements by the big men. So this has direct supplement naturally, other than the synthetic that is far above the reach of the common man. So apart from that, ICRISAT has worked towards ensuring the seed, apart from the improved variety, the seed are made available to the farmers through a community of practice we call community-based seed producers. Okay. And this is as a result of ICRISAT intervention in some of the upscaling to discover that most of the private seed companies are not in the hinterland where these crops are grown, and so the farmers are left out to still practice their old seeds, which does not respond to either fertilizer or any agro inputs. So with this opportunity to work with the private, who are directly what we call community-based seed producers, they now can produce this seed and sell it directly to farmers within reach, other than paying high cost of transport on seed transportation, or sometimes when the vehicle breaks down at the beginning of the rainy season, they don't have access to this seed until the seasons are over. So growing these materials within that community can now give them access to these seeds. Most of there are companies that depend on this for their daily production and marketing. Especially we have flour processing companies that those have to, like the bread we eat now has some percentage of millet or sorghum particularly. And the wheat import is at high cost because of the dollar fluctuations. So they have to look inwards by looking into some varieties of sorghum that are mimicking the wheat, and they are blending, and now we can have bread at affordable cost. We have cookies, which solely was either from barley or oats before. Now we have them in sorghum cookies. Maltina is a popular drink in social gathering. Now it's 100% sorghum, other than the barley that is also at high cost of purchase. when you are importing. We also have a lot of activities in terms of animal feeds. You know, maize used to be the sole, but now sorghum is taking part into the animal feeds. You can process it, either the stock or the grains or in animal feeds, where you are integrating the crop livestock. So Nigeria, ICRISAT has contributed a lot to Nigerian agriculture, which is also looking forward to stabilizing food security and stabilizing the national demand. Now, one of the recent one is the release of a dwarf sorghum called Security Smart variety that you can grow without covering your house height, and it doesn't hinder security visibility, so that those who are all under this insurgency crisis can grow them where, like the security guys are telling them, don't grow any tall crop that is above human height. Now we have some of these varieties that can grow just maybe at 1 meter. You can harvest, and also good for cropping system where you can grow your cowpea, you can grow your groundnut in between without shading effect. So this has actually even improved farmers' yield, what we call land equivalent use, and other opportunity to even use them as fodder. So a lot can be said how ICRISAT has contributed to bringing technology that is improving the farmers' livelihood, especially in this current climate change and the global warming.
Okay, looking at your, collaboration with the Research Council, or so to say Nigeria at large, is your mandate in co-tandem with that of the ARCN? In the sense that both organization does research work?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. ARCN is an umbrella coordinating all the national research programs in Nigeria. ICRISAT is also an international research that has to work in a country. And there is no how you jump into somebody's house without going through even if you are befriending a lady for marriage, you need to get the attention of the father. So ICRISAT is the host of information about all the research institutes. So for us to collaborate with any of the national research institutes, we work through ICRISAT, through ARCN. And they provide the necessary linkage to mandate institute where we can have a harmonious working relationship. That is why when ICRISAT returned to Nigeria after 2020 closure, temporarily because of funding, in its coming back, an MOU was developed to see how this relationship can gain better strength. And in that, apart from the policy making committee of the National Institute like IR, in Sama Rosaria, Lecture Research Institute in Maiduguri, Center for Dryland Agriculture, BUK Kano, there was the need to now form a steering committee. And this steering committee has a TOR as to see how they can align the research across these three organizations to see that they will be able to deliver based on national strategy, national demand, and national expectations, so that we don't work in silos and we don't work at random without targeting a particular policy that will see how the government can record achievements in any administration. So our meeting collaboration with ARCN is a sure way of working together through ARCN with the National Research Council Institute to ensure that ARCN has a policy from government as to implement across the research institutes. Now, how can we technically backstop or work together in terms of bringing technology? If we bring any technology, does it tally with the national demands? Because whatever variety we bring, does it go through the testing possibilities to ascertain its adaptation across? And can we also forward this same material, which we have tested with farmers, to the National Variety Release Committee, which is also directly supervised by ARCN Technology Delivery. So our working with ARCN is very essential because it is a linkage forum where we can now play necessary roles as a coordinating body, which each research organization that comes to Nigeria will work through ARCN if it want to achieve what the government really needs and what will benefit the masses.
Okay, yes, the ICRISAT is coming to the ARCN so that they will look at what is beneficial to the Nigerian populace. Quickly, we'll take a break. When we return, the program continues. Stay tuned. We're also talking about the role of ICRISAT in food sustainability drive of the federal government, especially as we have a new committee set up by between the ARCN and ICRISAT. Looking at this committee, sir, what are we expecting?
Yeah, thank you very much. You cannot run activities without people who are giving you input, who are also placing guidelines, like a milestone. Where do you left to where you are going? So the committee serves as a body between ICRISAT and the National Research Institute to have a roadmap. A roadmap that spells out what are the new innovations, who are you collaborating with, who are you targeting, what are the main issues in the nation that those innovations will be able to target. So the committee, as we call it, steering research committee, is to now evaluate annually. This is what we said last year. How have we implemented it? Where are the drawbacks? What are the successes? What are the failures? How do we amend? Is there any funding challenges? So where do we get new source of funding? Are there projects that we can integrate some of these technologies for achievement? So the steering committee has to do with Executive Secretary of the ARCN as the chair. Then we have African Director ICRISAT as the co-chair. We have the country representative of ICRISAT as the secretary. We have the executive directors of the Lecture Research Institute, IAR, and the CDA as members. Then we have technical plant breeders, either for sorghum, millet, and groundnut, as also members, to see that whatever crop improvement that is being targeted, what is the product profile, what are the market segments that this variety or this technology should target, what are the agronomic systems in place that will give full potential of producing this crop, what are the rainfall information in terms of weather forecast that will place these varieties where. Because anytime we are doing release, you have to align which agroecology that this crop will be suitable or stable for improved productivity. Then you also look at the recipes that you can produce out of these materials. If it is like millet, for example, they are newly biofortified products. Now, what are the target population that you need these biofortified products for in terms of hidden hunger and malnutrition, which is a challenge, especially in the Northwest, which has about 55% student children in the population. We also have Northeast. And these are some of the areas that are under pressure from either insurgency or Boko Haram. So we target those areas where we can, because they don't have these supplements. So we target these areas to give them those varieties, and it has been a success because Harvest Plus has come in to even take off this material and produce enough of these grains and like process the product and send especially to those communities, so that instead of waiting for supplements from US or UK or from Netherlands, they have natural supplements right at the doorstep at less cost and at less dollar exchange, which is saving the nation certain amount of money other than depending on import and export that does not really yield benefits to the population. Apart from that, we also integrate what you call crop livestock, whereby these stocks from the various crops can be transformed into better utilization, so that there is an element of reducing the livestock header conflicts with farmers. Because once you have food for the animals, there will be less migration, and that will help in terms of stabilizing even their production, and as a result of the available feeds that they have with their livestock.
Okay, so quickly we talked about, I was coming to the interference by, we know that in Nigeria, mostly we have these farmer-edit clashes. Is there anything ICRISAT is doing, just like you mentioned, on ensuring that after having the whole of this research work being done, and we have improved seedlings, we have the technologies being brought to the fore, so we don't have issues as regards still not meeting to the targeted end users of these crops?
Yeah, that is why I started by mentioning the ARCN ICRISAT Steering Committee as a business body that now look into, okay, we have these technologies, we have these target groups. What is the methodology of reaching to them? And that's why the collaboration works out to see where are the extension agents that's supposed to deliver the last mile of this research focus. And as a result of that, we solicit through ARCN government projects that target solution for conflict resolution. One of which is like the crop livestock program that we are looking out for, whereby we have tested in some states using the stover chopper. Some have like large farms of livestock, but they have to send their headers far across the nation from north to south to look for feeds. And that has resulted into the conflicts because they go across people's farmland when there is not harvested. So what we are trying, and we have tried in some places, is instead of roaming around, you can organize with a farmer after harvesting his livestock. Collect the stocks at a price, grind it through the stover chopper, get necessary granite hulls or cowpea hulls or cassava pellets, and then we have a formulation through the animal science nutrition team that regulates. This is amount of which, if your cow or goat or sheep eats, will give it this weight after this certain period of time. And then if it is fattening you are doing, you can dispose after maybe 6 months or 3 months, as the case may be. Instead of running the animals across hundreds of kilometers, which even what they eat goes into energy for migration, not for fattening. So that has stabilized some farmers, and at least they are like raising livestock. Within 3-4 months, they dispose, and it take about maybe 3-4 days of travel before they dispose it, other than dragging them back and forth on the long distance that make their meat even very tough. And it takes a lot of firewood with these gas challenges to cook them. So,
Okay.
but once you have fattened meat within, they will remain succulent, just like what we have in developed countries. It's the same cow, but the management just differ, and that's why we still buy imported meat, frozen meat. But it's the same nature of cows that we have.
Okay, quickly taking you a bit of this, you know, is there any thought in the future to see that ICRISAT moves from just these nutritional crops to other areas?
Yes. You know, anytime you are growing, you are looking for expansion and possible innovations. Right now, we are looking at business in agriculture, because no matter the technology, if there is no business built around it, it still remains technology on shelf. So what we are doing presently is looking at how do even these farmers make business out of this. So we are linking with Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture, using what you call farmer mobile stop shops.
Okay.
What happens in those stop shops is it's a business forum, so a business platform where instead of farmers going 100 kilometers to look for either source of fertilizer, source of seed, this hub is right in their villages. So we link about maybe 1,000 farmers to a hub where they get the seeds directly, and we are linking the community-based seed producers to this same hub, which if they produce the seed, when they are not aware, they send it directly to the hub that now sells within that community. And when they sell, whatever they produce, if they have excess, they bring it back to the hub as an aggregator, and they link them to processors who uptake this, and after uptaking, they process. You have what you call, like, for example, not that I'm advertising there, but we have Dala Food that distributes sorghum or millet products country-wide. Now that this Ramadan is going on, we have what we call Kunu Diet or Kunu Tamia or Fura. Yes. All they are from Dala Foods or Cocoa House. So what they do is, instead of the villagers now that they cannot process this directly, these hubs serve as an opportunity to bring back the grain sent to city for processing and then sells in the village. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on the program once again, Sam.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you've heard it from our guest so much. I told you it's an educating one, because we've had him before now on the program, and I bet you don't want to miss it. Go back to our YouTube page to see what that interview is, and as well watch this. That's it on AGRIC Today for this week. Join us again, same time, same station next week. I am your host, Khadija. I'm saying bye for now.